What's going on, man? It's Lawrence from Just Geeking Out, and I just got out of Fantastic Four, and I wanted to give you my very quick review of the film. I should have did this with Superman. I waited too much time to get home. It is fresh in my mind. I just saw it, but before that, hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know your thoughts on the film. So first up, spoiler free. I enjoyed it a lot, man. I enjoyed it a lot. It was really good. The performances were amazing. It felt like they leapt off the page. Chef's kiss all around. Visually, it's so stunning. And the set pieces and the design and the world that they created it was just great. Let me turn off this air. There we go. That sounds much better. I mean, the set pieces were just fantastic. And the special effects, everything was great. The score, it was pretty amazing. Spoiler territory. I really enjoyed the family's dynamic. And they pretty much gave us exactly what you thought it would be. Pedro Pascal, I know everyone's getting tired of him. I'm not. I love him. And he is so different in every role. And he is so funny and so charismatic in life, and we've seen him do it in other roles. He made Reed such this like introverted, kind of super brilliant, intelligent, kind of scary with his intelligence. And I mean, the amount of discipline he has not to allow his charisma to pop out because it could have. But no, Reed is very just almost like his intelligence gives him a headache of how much his mind is working and the anxiety and the worry. And it comes across so beautifully in his performance. And then Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, like she's his piece, right? She's his anchor into like being almost human. Like Reed's mind is almost like a computer. And she makes him like slow down. Like in the beginning of the film, right? He's looking for the iodine. I can't find the iodine. And while he's looking for the iodine, he comes across other things that, oh, this is expired, or this, or this. He's so distracted. His mind is working, and she's just like, easy, baby. And then Johnny Storm, man, he was great. It's a definitely different than Chris Evans, although similar in a way. This Johnny Storm was much more, he was confident and definitely charismatic, but not so much like the playboy womanizer. And I know he said that in an interview, like, in this day and age, that's not sexy. So I think whatever changes he made to make Johnny less, I guess, of a creep, it didn't take away from Johnny being Johnny, which was fun. And him and Ben were fun. Eben, who played Ben Grimm, the thing was great. It wasn't such a brutish, it's clobbering time. He was more like, it's funny, he's more what you would think Ben Grimm would be like. Because in the beginning of the film and in the comic books, we know that these are brilliant scientists who go on this spaceship, right? These are brains. And the thing, he's a pilot. He's a genius pilot. He operates a spacecraft. So as much as we want to be like, oh, he's not. So I felt like I did enjoy Eben's take on the thing. I did. I loved all the characters. My guy playing Mole Man, I forgot his name, but he was in Cobra Kai. He's in everything. He was hilarious. The jokes were perfect. Like it wasn't too much, it wasn't too little. It allowed the drama and the tension to breathe, but it didn't get boring either. So I felt like the jokes were well placed. It wasn't that MCU just rapid fire jokes. Silver Surfer was amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm sorry, like, she was great. I love that Johnny had a crush on her. But outside of his crush, the gender didn't matter. It didn't. you know, and the fact that Johnny had a crush on her, I kind of liked it. It brought a sense of levity to their relationship with Silver Surfer, a warmth to it. So all people that was up in arms, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. She was great. I loved it. The special effects of Silver Surfer was amazing. That's when I knew like this movie was peak. When I saw her show up and it really looked like metal skin, like it had a texture to it. It was amazing, and everyone who was dogging it because of the trailer, knowing it takes time to get CGI right. I'm like, chill out, man. Chill out. This thing was visually stunning. Who's talking trash? The trailer comes out and she looks not finished, and it's like, we know she's not finished. It don't come out for another 8 months. We gotta chill, guys. We really gotta chill. But that was, I mean, and it's funny. I saw Superman again this week, and I guess like which one is better, Superman or Fantastic Four? And to be honest with you, I feel like they both did exactly what they were supposed to do. Right? I felt like we got these two movies that use the Silver Age kind of time in comics. You know, Fantastic Four was very much like Jack Kirby. Like, it felt like they ripped that out of that time period, and Superman was very much felt like that Silver Age science fiction fantasy, both. And it was just nice to see two movies lean all the way into the source material. I am so happy we are past the time of having to make these characters realistic, that we strip away the things that make them fun and exciting. I'm so happy we've moved on from that. But I think they both did exactly what they were supposed to do. You know, Superman, my biggest critique was that it was so fast-paced. I wanted it to slow down, but when I saw it again, I saw the intention. James Gunn needed to grab you by the seat of your pants and throw you in this world and not let up on the gas. DC in cinema was on life support, and it needed that shot of adrenaline. That DC could be fun. Superman could be fun, action-packed, could be all those wonderful things. It needed that shot of adrenaline because the pulse was at a flat line. It was at a deficit. MCU had the opposite problem. Where DC was at a deficit, the MCU was cursed with abundance. There was just too much. We didn't know what to focus on. They told us that all these things connect, and we're looking to see where this connects. Where does Moon Knight connect? Are we dealing with magic or the multiverse? Is Mephisto going to be the big bad? Is it going to be Kang? Is it going to be Doctor Doom? It was all over the place. So this movie slowed it down a little bit and went back to that phase one charm of, we're going to do Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, First Avenger, and there'll be things in these movies that make them connect, but they're going to be standalone movies where we get to know the characters and see them go on their own story without it being just feeling like it's just a movie to get us to the next movie. No, this kind of was back to that phase one charm, and I liked it a lot. I love the beats that we had with them as a family, getting to know them and their relationship. My biggest critique, I would say, would be, you know, typically in these movies where you have a family, you know, something happens that makes them have to, like, find out what that means to them again. And I'd say we didn't have that here. I would say for the most part, the Fantastic Four as a family, they were just as tight in the beginning as they were at the end. And I don't know, I think I would have wanted, if this is supposed to be Marvel's first family, then I would want to see them going through something that would challenge their ability to be a family. I felt like they weren't challenged as a family per se. I would say that Reed and Sue were challenged in their relationship, especially as they deal with having a baby. They have Franklin. So their relationship got challenged, which I thought was amazing, and it needed to, for the drama and the stakes. But I also wanted to see their family dynamic get challenged. I don't think Johnny Storm got challenged emotionally. I don't think Thing got challenged emotionally. They were kind of just along for the adventure. So I would have preferred to see whatever happens challenge them and their connection and their love as a family. And then, of course, in the end, it's even stronger than ever. I would have preferred that. Since it's all about family, I want to see the family get challenged. I would also say the end fight with Galactus had me on the edge of my seat. Because I honestly did not know. How are they going to beat this dude? He's a million times more powerful than them. It's not even a joke. And I was like, how do they beat him? And I feel like I should have said, I don't read a whole lot of Fantastic Four comics. Obviously, I'm aware of them. Watched all the movies, watched the cartoon, got all the toys from back in the day. But I don't read the comics, so I'm a little out of my depth here. But this movie showed us that Galactus is a million times stronger than them. So the way they defeat Galactus by using the portal to teleport him to the far reaches of a different universe, stranding him without a ship, makes sense. But it didn't give us that final battle feel, right? Where we get to see all of their powers on display in unison, working as a team. You know, we got to see them use their powers for sure, especially in the beginning and in the end, but they're a team. So I wanted to see, like, how do your powers work together in unison and cohesion? Like, you guys just aren't brainiacs, that you also train together. So where you flame on with the fire, Thing knows to do this, and almost kind of like X-Men, where they almost like they have plays that they can use. And I hate when they do this in movies, but I kind of wanted it here, where the big bad does have like hordes of minions, just to see the Fantastic Four fight and use their powers. We don't really get to see them fight a whole lot and use their powers. In the beginning, we get the intro that kind of shows us a bunch of their battles. And then we get to see them use their powers as they're trying to save themselves from Galactus and Silver Surfer. But we don't ever get to see, like, clobbering time. Like, Thing go ham and clobber something. We don't really get that. And we don't really get how fantastic Mr. Fantastic's powers are. You know, he can stretch, but he can also change shape. Like, there's a lot of really creative things he can do with his powers. We didn't really get that here. Sue is the standout. She showed how powerful she could be. So I think they could have gotten a lot more creative with how these guys can use their powers. You know, we've had different Fantastic Four films to different degrees of good. So we pretty much know how their powers work. It would have been cool if they would got a little bit more creative with their usage in this film. And we could have used a little bit more fighting. That being said, the highlights, man, Sue Storm giving birth in zero gravity, it just looked gorgeous. Like she's floating, and you got the black hole outside the window behind it. It just, the visuals, stunning, absolutely stunning. Yeah, that's all that's coming to mind right now. Like I said, I still got to digest it. Me and my cousin, hopefully we'll do a deep dive. I don't know if he's seen it yet. We'll definitely revisit this now that I have time to sit with it, but it was an enjoyable experience. It starts without the whole MCU banner, which I thought was pretty great. It just made it feel like it's its own thing in its own universe. It's not connected. It's not an episode in a giant TV series. And that's kind of what I needed from the MCU. I needed to go back to phase 1 feel, where we're establishing new characters and we're taking the time to do so without feeling like we're just being fast-tracked. That being said, there are some post-credits. So we flash forward 4 years later, and if you know anything about me, I hate flash forwards. I really do. I really do, because we just jump like important things didn't happen. Anyway, we flash forward 4 years later. Time jump. You know, you got Sue Storm reading books to Franklin, and she comes back from looking for a book, and then there's Dr. Doom. Of course, it's Robert Downey Jr., or we're left to assume it is. Why wouldn't it be? And it goes black, and it just says, like, you know, the Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday. And I know it's supposed to be one of those things where it makes you hype. It did the complete opposite. Marvel right now, for me, the MCU, it's like it knows it's great, so it just assumes you know that you know it's greatness, right? So we just established this family of superheroes. To the casual fans, they've never seen a Fantastic Four thing, especially if they were too young to enjoy the Chris Evans joint. They don't understand. The only reason seeing Doctor Doom at the end is cool to the casual watcher is because they know that Robert Downey Jr. is playing him, and he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. And like, I know I'm sounding crazy to you comic fans out here, but it just feels like it's too. What am I? All right, what are the words I'm looking for? It feels like it's trying to hook us too hard into something that we're not really invested in yet. What do I care that the Fantastic Four is going to show up in Avengers Doomsday? I don't even know who Doctor Doom is in this world. I don't even know, like they rely so much on the stuff we already know about the casting, and there's going to be an Avengers movie. And it's like, I was just cool sitting in this world. You know, I didn't need to feel like, now get ready for the next movie. Like, that is so tired to me. You know? I'm probably that's probably a real hot take, but seeing him at the end it just didn't mean anything outside of what I know that's coming. I don't know. I felt like before with the tags that were really great, they set it up because of the breadcrumbs they had along the way. Or they put something there and you know, like, we may not get this payoff anytime soon, but it's coming. Like when they first showed Thanos, like, we didn't deal with Thanos for a while after that, but it was a little hint. This felt like we're going to throw this guy in this movie to set up our very next movie. But it didn't set anything up. So Dr. Doom wants Franklin like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm rambling. The post-credit just didn't do what I think they wanted it to do for me, which is to get me excited for Avengers Doomsday. I'm excited about Fantastic Four. I don't know what Avengers Doomsday is outside of just knowing all the characters that's in it. But that's not the story moving me. That's just me knowing castings and stuff. I don't know. I'm rambling. Let me know your thoughts on that. But I enjoyed the film a lot. There's another post-credit one that's a real throwback to 60s cartoons, and I liked it a lot. But I like the movie. How would I rate it? This might change. I think I gave Superman an 8.5. This I would give a solid 8. And the only reason I have it under Superman, because honestly, for most of the movie, I was like, this might be better than Superman. It's just that final act. And I don't really know how they could have done it better. Like, teleporting him to a different galaxy is just, I feel like that's all you can do. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's a superhero film. And I want to see them use their powers in unique ways. I want it to be this massive action set piece at the end, because this movie is slower. And I'll go with you. And I love the slow moments. I wanted more slow moments from Superman. But when we get to that final battle with Galactus showing up in New York, I just wanted it more. Like, he's an Avengers level threat, so I wanted like an Avengers level fight. And then, like I said, the family dynamics were never in jeopardy. So I felt like, well, that's kind of the point, right? If they're the best family in Marvel, then that's the very thing that needs to be in jeopardy, in my opinion. That's why I have it at an 8. I feel like it did everything really well. I just needed it to get kicked up a notch in the end. But it's amazing. Great movie. Great freaking summer. Got Superman, got Fantastic Four, we got Peacemaker coming out. We got the final season of The Boys dropping. It's good to be a geek. Anyway, thank you for my rambling thoughts as I just stepped out of the movie theater. You'll be seeing this, or you're seeing this on Saturday. It's Friday night for me. But thank you so much. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Going live. Going to talk about Comic-Con. Going to talk about Fantastic 4.